Peace and welcome to Suit and Artist. So the team and I recently took a trip down to Miami. We were doing a shoot on the blockchain and Web3 crypto space down there, and we'll be sharing that footage in the coming weeks. But while we were there, I got a chance to connect with one of my friends, Jesse Kirschbaum. Now, Jesse is a music executive. He's a VC. He's a creator. He's an agency owner, and he recently relocated to Miami. So we got a chance to talk about what prompted the move, why Miami is such a hub for the convergence of art and blockchain and technology. We also talked about the music business and the future of it and how Web3 has impacted the music business, how artists can best capitalize on this new tech, and what artists are the examples of, artists who are really doing it well in the space. So really interesting conversation, lots of jewels and gems in it, and hope you enjoy it. Check it out.
I live at the intersection of music, technology, and brands. I founded a company called New Agency, which helps brands make deep, meaningful connections to their consumers by leveraging the power of entertainment.
What's the impact of Web3 been on the music industry, and what artists are killing it in Web3 right now?
I love these new frontiers. This is where opportunity and growth happens. Web3 is exploding in terms of freshness, in terms of new waves and new opportunity. The first artists that were on Web2, the first artists that were really breaking on Snapchat and Twitter and Instagram, they saw exponential growth because they were early on the platform developing audience. Now who's doing Web3 is going to see exponential growth from their opportunities that they create now as pioneers in the space. Who's killing it? One, Snoop Dogg. You gotta give it up to him. He is making big moves in Web3, his NFT drops, his collectibles, the different things that he's doing in Web3 is gonna make him more money than he's ever made in music. And that's wild to think because this is just getting started and he's been making music for over 20 years. Another artist that I love in Web3 right now is Latasha. She is building a buzz, creating a following, innovating, communicating, using the platforms, using the technology, staying true to the culture. And she's just an emerging star that is a lot of fun to watch on the platform and getting big support from the collectors.
What platforms are you using to discover new talent, and where does an artist need to show up to be considered legit?
New artists are breaking on TikTok. That's really where you go viral right now. TikTok is the place for music to kind of create and to kind of be spread. So it's a great spot for artists to be, but I think an artist has to be everywhere. I think it really depends on who the artist's fan base is and who the artist is and what kind of music that artist wants to make. And once you know where the artist is wanting to target their music, then you make music for those different platforms or content for those different platforms.
Do you have strong opinions on TikTok? Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. As viral and as hot as TikTok is, it's the #1 app in America 2021. It's the #1 most downloaded app in 2022. But recently, over the summer, the Chinese government officially took a position in ByteDance, the parent company for TikTok. On top of that, they put 3 board members on the TikTok ByteDance board. When you look at what's being fed on the algorithm in America, it's different than the algorithm in China and in other regions. And the Chinese government now has a hand in what's being fed. On top of that, we know that TikTok is reading your facial recognition. It can see what's going on in your notes. It can see what's on your phone saved. It can see your screenshotted images. And it doesn't feel fair to me that Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, and a bunch of other social platforms from America are not allowed in China, but yet we're allowing this government-owned vehicle to be all over the place in America, and it just doesn't seem like a reciprocal relationship in terms of exporting culture.
What do you see as the landscape for live music performance?
Live music is back, baby. It's really good to see that music is coming back into the forefront. People are going to events. People are excited about events. Yes, it's kind of sputtered out a couple times, and there's been different, obviously, strains of COVID, and people are still a little scared and to go out. And there are a lot of no-shows at these shows. But more and more artists are going on the road. We're going to see, I think, a very healthy festival season this summer. I think by the fall, more and more people will have been back to shows, but it might not be what it once was. I think that the world has changed, and we're not going back to an old era of live music. We're heading into a new one, which I do think the live streaming space is going to play an important part in. I think we're looking at hybrid events now. It's going to be about not just the people in the room, but the expanded audience that you can create by creating content that's going to have both a digital presence and an IRL presence. And more and more of these events, if it's a conference, if it's a concert series, is going to be tailoring that audience. So yeah, the 100,000 people that bought tickets to Coachella are going to be a priority, but also the 3 million people that can watch it on a live stream going to Couchella are also going to be a huge revenue generator in terms of potential ticket sales, in terms of potential brand recognition, in terms of sponsorship. And I think now more than ever, consumers are used to watching shows on a live stream and willing to go experience the live stream experience thanks to COVID. And artists are willing to have their content put out on a live stream and willing to test and play in that space. So as consumer habits have changed and artists' willingness and penchant for trying things has changed, this has become something that's now going to be imprinted into every event. And it's not just going to be about the IRL experience, it's also the URL experience.
What differences do you see between the Miami, New York, and Silicon Valley tech scenes?
So New York is the capital of the world, and that's undeniable. Silicon Valley is the tech capital of the world. And Miami is becoming this new moment. Miami is this beautiful place that's been a vacation town, but under COVID, under new world order, under the ability to be able to work from everywhere, people have said, why just come here to vacation? Why not create this place and make it a hub? And Miami's always been the Latin America capital of the world, but now Miami is becoming this city where it's the convergence of technology and culture and food, and it's really become in many ways the crypto and Web3 capital of the world. It's been embracing people from that space, and more people are moving here. And everywhere I go, people are talking about Web3 and the optimism of what's needed to build this brave new world in Web3. And it's so exciting to be a part of a new community of different people that have come here and to kind of help create what is going to be a new world order, a new Miami. And I love it here, and the people are really in good spirits. You got sunshine all day long. There's a lot of perks to being in Miami. The ocean's right here. And on top of that, it's just a great place to live. And it's becoming a great place to work.
Why has Miami become such a hub for Web3?
The city has been very encouraging of the crypto and Web3 community. It really stemmed in the early days of COVID when San Francisco thought leaders were joking around and saying, where should we go? Why would we live in San Francisco in this time? And the mayor of Miami, Francis Suarez, wrote a tweet. And this tweet was shot around the world. And it basically was, how can I help you move to Miami? And that simple tweet spawned a kind of mass exodus to Miami from different regions. The thing about Miami is that when people all move here or come here together and start collaborating, it spawns new ideas, it creates new community, it fosters growth in culture. Right now, this has become the same way Silicon Valley was a hub for tech companies. This has become a hub for venture capitalists and Web3 businesses. And the VCs and the companies, they're funding startups, they're offering jobs, they're hiring, they're encouraging people to move down to Miami. And Miami's got a great quality of life. And Miami's got a really deep, rich culture. And that's the thing. This new Miami that's coming in needs to respect the fact that Miami still is this wonderful place. And it's going to be a little bit of a mesh of now all of a sudden what it once was to where it's becoming. But I think it's a beautiful collaboration, and I have a lot of respect for the old school classic Miami, but I also have a lot of love for the New Yorkers that are coming down here and the new Miami vibe of entrepreneurs that really are coming to Miami to work and to create industry and to build this brave new world.
What trends do you see on the horizon for music and Web3?
Yeah, music is more relevant than ever. Right now, you could create music from your bedroom, and all of a sudden, it could be everywhere in the world. Web 2, it was really about getting likes and sharing your ideas and building direct to consumer relationships. All of a sudden, Kanye can have a press conference on Twitter and be able to broadcast his ideas without ever having to talk to a reporter. But Web 3, these fans are now going to become the investors. These fans can buy into the projects. They're in direct relationship with the art creators. And this becomes a whole new opportunity for artists to fund their ideas and for fans and artists to build new bridges. And this is about co-ownership. This is about creating community on another level. This is about where I think things can go. And it's so exciting because there's going to be a whole new slew of brands that come out of this. D2C was the big thing in the Web 2 world of social media, because all of a sudden you could start a sock company and you could sell directly to your consumers and you didn't have to be in Walmart and big box retail. Now in Web 3, the fans are going to help you create this business, have a say, advising along the way, and what are the new brands in Web 3 look like? And this is the opportunity right now, is to build the next big companies. If it's the next Amazons, the next Facebooks, the next big brands are going to come out of this era, taking the Web 3 sensibility.
Why do you do what you do?
I found a career that really matches my personality and my energy and my passion points. I love music. I love events. I love bringing people together. I know that music is the universal language, and I love that with music you can reach a huge audience across all boundaries and all cultures. And I just found a career that matches my passion points, which is really helping finding and developing talent. And I did it as an agent, and I did it as a marketer, and I'm doing it as an investor and a deal maker and a creator. And I just think that there's nothing more exciting in the world than working with talented, creative people and helping find them and make their ideas come to life.
Tell us about your newsletter, Beats and Bytes.
I read a newsletter called Beats and Bytes, and every week I chronicle what I think everybody needs to know in the intersection of music, technology, and brands. That's where I'm an expert. It's the multi-hyphen of those three. And each week I'm finding everything on the internet. It's like going to the gym. I've been doing this for 5 years. I have my finger on the pulse of everything happening in that space. And then I kind of put it in a digestible way and put a POV on it. And I love it. It's grown a lot in COVID. It's known as one of the most impactful newsletters in the culture. And I'd love you to sign up. You can find my newsletter, Beats and Bytes, on my agency's website, newagency.com. I would love you to read it and send me feedback.